You may be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
This is the case of Davis versus Hamb.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Davis, you claim you got pregnant with Mr. Hamb's child after knowing him for only 2 months. You've petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove that Mr. Hamb is the father of your 1-month-old baby, Jarrell Hamb Jr. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're suing him for $1,500 for the cost of the baby shower gifts that you say Mr. Hamb took from you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Hamb, you say Ms. Davis was dating 2 other men, and you are certain that you are not the father of her child.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Hamb, how can you be so sure this child is not yours?
First, Your Honor, I'd like to start off by giving you a little background of how me and Brandy met.
Please do.
I was in my car, just came from getting a haircut. I was looking good in my car. Me and Brandy has the same exact car, just different colors. She was looking pretty, too, I'm not gonna lie. She looking pretty in traffic. She flagged me down to stop me so we could switch numbers. When we switched numbers, we started talking on the phone within those same exact hours. So during that time, we agreed to meet up. When I'm thinking we meeting up, I'm thinking it's just gonna be me and Brandy. When I pull up to the lake, after we agreed, that's why we agreed to go to the lake. When I pull up at the lake, she got a whole crowd of people surrounding her car. So as I get closer, Miss Davis then comes and approaches my car. We start having a conversation. As me and Miss Davis having a conversation, one of her female friends comes up to the car and say, well, your boyfriend is getting upset due to the fact that you over here disrespecting him by talking to another man.
Did you remember someone coming up to you and saying
No,
your boyfriend
nobody came
mad?
up to me. Nobody came up to me because it wasn't my boyfriend.
Did you have a boyfriend at the time?
Yes, I did have a boyfriend at the time. I
You did?
But that wasn't him.
But that particular person wasn't him.
She had 2 boyfriends.
I had
That was just the first boyfriend. That was just the first boyfriend.
You mad?
That was just the first boy. That was the
That
first
was my boyfriend.
Second boyfriend.
That was my
That's
first
the second
boyfriend.
boyfriend.
So it's
Nah.
your testimony, Mr. Hamb, she had more than one boyfriend.
Yes, Your Honor, and she's married too, and she's still technically married now. She's not divorced now, she's still technically married. And she had 2 boyfriends too. So this is why I'm in a point where, okay, this can't really be my child due to the fact that she had all these boyfriends, and then at the end of the day, I come find she's married too, so I don't know what to believe.
At some point after you're at this lake and you start talking, you have a sexual relationship.
Ma'am, she got in the car with me, and we left that same day, and we had unprotected sex
the
that
second
same day.
Go ahead,
We had sex that same day. And after we had sex that day, we was like peas, she was on my heels, we was together.
No, actually, how can you be with somebody after 2 days of knowing them? How can you be with somebody?
You
didn't
slept
even know
me the first day.
You didn't even. So what? You had.
So what? But you just
did
saying it was the
too.
second day.
Okay, look, you had unprotected.
And I'm not lying. Yeah, we did.
At
The
end of
first day I met you.
How
I'm
can
not
you be
lying
in a
about
relationship
that.
with somebody you just met?
Okay.
Wow.
I'm not saying I
Tell
was
me that.
right for
Miss
sleeping for the
Davis.
first. I'm a
Yes,
guy.
Your Honor.
Ms. Davis, you say there was another man, that
Yes,
you
there
did
was.
have a boyfriend.
I had a whole boyfriend.
And the
That
husband.
treated
But
me
you
good. and everything.
also
husband separated.
So wait, you had a husband you were separated
I'm
from
separated.
and a
Legally
boyfriend,
separated.
and you slept with Mr. Hamb on the second day?
Boyfriend legally
First day.
separated. Second day, now yes, I did sleep with him. Yes, I did.
Okay. So you do understand why Mr. Hamb may have doubt?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Okay, good.
I do.
She already had boyfriends before she was even with me, and just like I say, when she get drunk, she's real sexual. When
Yeah,
she
I
get
am.
drunk,
I am.
she
I'm
gets so
nasty.
drunk that
You right.
can't.
You right. I am.
If she was drunk right now, she would be
I'm
passed
drunk.
out sleeping
What's
in
wrong
front
with
of
that?
TV.
What's wrong with that?
I ain't gonna say we
I didn't
was
want nothing
boyfriend
to
and
do.
girlfriend,
I was
because
back
every
with my
time we
boyfriend.
tried to get serious or try to say, okay, well, you my girl, make a title for each other, it would always be something that's
We
stopping
never
us
had a
because
title.
with me being a player, I ain't gonna say being a player, with me being a
you
man,
was.
and
You
I like
did.
to talk to
You
women.
did. You did what
It
you
is
had.
hard. Go on and tell the truth.
Like I said,
Tell
me knowing how I like to talk to women.
You
I
had a
can't-
lot of women too. Boy, I
like I
saw
said,
that phone.
just knowing the fact that, okay, yeah, I'm starting to talk to her, but at the same time, I am fooling around with other people.
All right, take me to the point you find out you're pregnant.
I'm at work throwing up, sick. Couldn't take it, so I told asked my supervisor, can I go to the hospital? They took me to the hospital. I'm thinking I had food poisoning or something, and I was pregnant.
After you found out you were pregnant,
Yes.
how did you tell Mr. Hamb?
I called his phone and told him I was pregnant. He was at work. I went to his job, and man was talking about it. He was
What?
happy, excited. Yes, I did. Went to your job. He was happy, excited.
So you felt like his reaction was
Yeah,
that of
He was gonna
excitement?
be there. He was gonna help me out and do all this, regardless of the fact of what went on in the past. He was gonna be
And
there.
I gave her my
For me
word.
and my
I
first
gave
son.
her
I
my
have 2
word.
kids.
And due to the fact of what she was going through, I gave her my word as a man. And due to the fact that
you ain't a man.
the situation with me and my father, I said, man, I'm gonna be here regardless of what me and you got going on. I'm finna be here for this child due to the fact I didn't have
But
nobody
is
in my
he
life.
here? Have he been here? He haven't been here.
But
he
Your
haven't
Honor,
did nothing.
I have
They don't
not-
talk my first son,
So,
Your Honor.
Mr. Hamb, you told her you were going to be there.
Yes, Sean, I did.
But now you're in court saying the child is not yours.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
So tell me why you doubt it.
Well, me and her arguing, she told in front of my mother and auntie that this
No, I
was
didn't.
not my
I
child
never
when the
did that.
child was
That's a lie.
4 weeks old.
I never
she
did
told
that.
this in front of my mother and
never
auntie.
did that.
And the
Never.
second time,
gonna lie. I
when we
told
was
that to
arguing
you
in front of her,
out of
at
anger.
her mother's
I told
house,
that to you out of anger. Out of anger, yes, Your Honor, I did say that twice.
And
out
then
of
the
anger.
second time
we
in front
argued.
of
He
her
make me
own
mad. I'm
mother.
like, you know,
All right,
it's not
one at
your
a
child.
time. I want to understand this. So you're saying, Mr. Hamb, that in front of your family members, she says
I did not
that
say
I was not the father of that
I said
child.
it to him in an argument.
It was getting heated, and it's to the point she was like, you know what? I'm just be honest. This ain't even your child, so you ain't got to worry about being here in this child. You ain't got to worry about doing
No, I
nothing
didn't say it like that.
So I said,
I didn't say it
so
like
that's,
that. I
That's
didn't
what
say it like that.
that's
Stop
when I
lying.
completely snapped, because at the
Stop
same
lying.
time, I'm in a 50 situation. Yeah, I want to be happy, but at the same time, I don't want to have nothing to do with it just because what she put me through.
if you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. You've admitted that at this time you had a husband.
Yes.
You had a boyfriend.
Two
And you
boyfriends.
also
Actually, my husband, we separated.
separated,
Legally
but you had a
separated.
No, they're
boyfriend, and you also were sleeping with Mr. Hamb.
Yes, I was.
Were you
Unprotected.
sleeping with any of the other
No,
men?
My boyfriend.
All
my
four
boyfriend. My boyfriend
So
and him.
you do admit
Two.
today that during the window of conception, you were sleeping with
I
your
stopped sleeping with
boyfriend
my
and Mr.
boyfriend.
Hamb.
I stopped sleeping with my boyfriend the beginning of July. I say July 10th, around that time.
Hold on. Let me get my calendar. Can you think back, when was the window of time you and Mr. Hamb were intimate? Were you having unprotected?
We was
All
having
day, every
unprotected-
day?
Yes, we was. And
All day, every day.
Because of me.
Like I said,
because
once
of
I had
me,
sex with
yes,
that
Your
first
Honor.
night,
And I-
before
Miss
August.
Davis,
Before
Miss
August.
Davis, around what time were you in this relationship? Did it begin?
It wasn't a
It wasn't a real
relationship until I got
relationship.
pregnant. Until I
All
got
right, and
pregnant.
so
It wasn't even a relationship
around the
then.
time you got pregnant, when
August.
when your baby was conceived, what was the month?
August
So
20,
she's-
around August 25th.
The last week in August. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right. So the last week in August. Now, Mr. Hamb.
Yes, ma'am.
You do agree that you were having sex
Unprotected
during
sex with her, yes.
the last week of August with Ms. Davis.
It was a whole
Yes.
month of August, a whole month before August, too.
Boy, you was hitting
So,
Yes.
so the whole month of August. All right.
ma'am.
Just circle the whole month. All right.
ma'am.
Now,
And
But I-
before
Ms.
August, too.
Davis,
Before
Ms.
August, too.
Davis, when were you intimate with anyone else? Were you
The last-
intimate
The
with
same
anyone
time.
My
else?
boyfriend, yes, my boyfriend.
same-
And when was that?
I said
The
the beginning
same
of
time.
July, around July 10th, around that time. That was the last time we had sex.
Ms. Davis, you're saying you were still sleeping with your boyfriend in July.
Yeah, yes, in the beginning.
And then
of
you
July.
started sleeping with Mr. Hamb in August or late July.
No,
We been
beginning of
started-
July.
we
Beginning
been-
of July.
We had sex, the first time we had sex was the second day we met, and we was having sex on and on every day.
And then but you were also having sex with your boyfriend
Yeah.
during
Yes.
that time.
And her
And I
other
stopped in
boyfriend,
July.
too.
He broke up with me in July.
So now you say Jarrell was born early.
He was born in May. I conceived him at the end of August, and I was not
And
next
that
to my
was
boyfriend. We broke up.
earlier than anticipated.
Yes, ma'am, it was.
And so
yeah.
that is what adds to your doubt.
That put red lights, red beams, everything off in my head. I was in a 50-50 situation. Like, yeah, this could be, man, but at the same time, it's too early.
So you felt like when Jarrell was born, the date he was born was too early
Yes,
for
ma'am.
the window of time that you were sleeping with her.
Yeah, she was spending time with me, but at the same time, she was spending time with somebody else during the same time she was spending with me. So I can't sit up here and say, yeah, I'm 100% sure that this is my baby.
Part of your claim is about a baby shower. So at some point, you had to be excited about the baby. You had to feel
Now,
like
the baby shower,
Yeah.
let's bring up the story
yeah.
about the baby shower. The baby shower, I did not even want until after the baby was here, until I found out it was mine. She went behind my back and talked to my family after I told her not to even, this is
But
my
at
mom.
some point, you had a baby shower.
Due to the fact that she talked my family into it.
I never
And
had- I never-
I got into it with my
Your
Ms.
Honor.
family.
Davis, did you talk his family
Your
into
Honor,
giving a baby shower for the
Your Honor,
baby?
no, I did not. I didn't even know they were throwing me the baby shower. They begged me to come to the baby shower because me and him previously got into it. We got into an argument. He like, don't come to this baby shower. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not coming. The day before the baby shower, his mom and him and his sister called my phone begging me to come. They say it's not a baby shower without you there.
They did.
We talked to Jarrell.
Because
He's
you
gonna
still
act
pregnant at the time.
Yeah, I was still
Yeah.
pregnant. I was 8 months.
Well, yeah, you gonna have a baby shower without the baby?
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah, I said the same thing.
Yeah, but ma'am, due to the
Your Honor,
fact that
Your
me
Honor.
not knowing that this is my baby, I didn't even want to be around. So I calmed down and said, you know what? Y'all go ahead and invite her. Let her come.
And Ms. Davis, you went.
I went. Me, my sister, and my cousin we went to the baby shower. And Your Honor, I didn't get nothing from that baby shower. Nothing. Nothing
It's
came
not
to me.
for you, it's for the baby.
Everything came to him. The baby stayed with me. I should have got the stuff that came to my house. All the stuff went to his house. And I
So all the gifts that were given to the baby
didn't
at the
come to me.
baby shower
Didn't come to me at all.
didn't leave with the baby.
No.
Right, because
did.
it was bought by my
They did.
family and me.
So you say you showed up to the baby shower
Yes.
because they said they really wanted you to be there.
Yes. And they said they go control his mouth.
Everybody, they said they were going to control
Control his mouth.
Well, that's a
He don't
job.
talk to me and I don't
I'm
talk to
trying
him.
to do that right now. You showed up, people brought gifts for the baby,
Yeah.
but then when you left, they kept the gift.
I didn't get nothing. The only thing I gave Your Honor was
And it's a
5.
reason.
Okay,
Wait.
can I talk? The only thing I got was 5 gift cards and a check for $45.
And the basis of your suit is that he took all of the things that were given to the baby
yes, Your
at
Honor.
the shower.
And I have a list of all the stuff that I
I'd
didn't
like
get.
to see that list. Please, Jerome, please hand that to me.
Yep.
So what types of items are outlined in this list, Ms.
Baby
Davis?
shower, the stroller, car seat, clothes, shoes,
But Your Honor,
diapers, milk.
It's a
Bibs.
reason
And
why
I
I
didn't
felt
get
that way.
nothing.
So these are the gifts that
It's
were
more on the
presented that
side.
day?
Yes, Your Honor.
And even
It's
more than that?
Yes.
Yes.
So ultimately, Mr. Hamb, you do acknowledge that your family came through a baby shower, gave gifts to the baby, but because you say you weren't certain whether or not the child was yours, you decided not to give the gifts to her,
Yes,
to
Your
the
Honor.
baby.
Yes, Your Honor. And at the same time, anywhere I go, I was gonna have to take the gifts to her because she had a car full of her friends and anything. So she didn't have nowhere to put the gifts.
But you admit you took
Yes,
them.
I took them to my house. I took the gifts to
Did
my
you
house.
ever get those gifts,
No,
Ms. Davis?
no, I didn't get nothing.
So, Ms. Davis, you're saying the value of those gifts was $1,500, am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Hamb, do you agree that the value of these gifts were about $1,500?
Just about, yes. Ma'am.
About?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The point is this. There was a possibility that she was pregnant with your child.
Yes, ma'am.
Your family stepped up and did what they thought was the
And I
right
did
thing
too.
and
And I
had a
did too.
baby
You did.
shower
Yes.
for a baby that might be yours. And at that shower, they gave gifts to the baby.
Right.
Key word is give. Once you give a gift, you cannot take it back. At this time, based on the evidence you presented, I have no choice but to rule in favor of the plaintiff for $1,500 because those gifts belong to the baby.
Okay, when you say I took,
You need to return the gifts, or you need to give her $1,500, which is the value of the gifts because you testified that that was the value, whether or not you're the child's father. The law is the law. And
So-
at the end of the day, you slept with a woman without using protection. Now, I personally think you should be happy and proud that you have a family that would step up to the plate after you have acted so irresponsibly, excuse me, and still give gifts to a child when they don't even know for certain if the baby is yours because they're doing the right thing for the baby. Now, you got to do the right thing by the law. You either give her $1,500 or return the things. That's my ruling. I'm done with it. Judgment for the plaintiff. Now, I often ask in this courtroom, do you feel like the baby resembles you?
No, I do not.
You don't.
No, I do not. It's quite a few guys who I might think about because all the guys she messed with is light skinned except this one guy, he's dark skinned. And like I said, the baby is light skinned. So the dark skinned guy, he out the picture, but at the same time, she was still messing with him during the same time she was messing with me. So it's kind of hard to put him out the picture too. And then I see the baby's starting to get darker too. Because he was so light when he first came out, they had to put him on light.
Mr. Hamb, you better go on ahead and present some evidence.
What do you mean?
Bottom line, because that entire testimony that you just gave about the color of the baby and he's browning up
I'm
and
just
he said,
saying, like-
you do understand that children are born in various colors, shades. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Especially as African Americans, you
But the
understand?
baby also gonna look like one of the parents. That baby don't look like her and it don't look like me. So
Okay.
it must look like the father.
Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Davis versus Hamb, pertaining to 2-month-old Jarrell Hamb Jr., it has been determined by this court. Mr. Hamb, you are Jarrell's father.
Like I said, I don't have no problem with stepping up, but at the same time, I can't be in this child's life if she's trying to control me with this child.
It has been determined by this court that you are this child's biological father, which means as a father, you have rights.
But
You
ma'am-
have, listen, stop talking so much and listen. You have to take care of this baby financially, but you also will have the legal right to see the child. If you all can't work together, then you will have recourse in your home state to go to court and fight for visitation and a chance to help to raise your child. Ms. Davis, you have to let him be a part of this child's life because it's his child.
I never kept him from this baby. I never kept him one time from this baby.
I-
Never. Never. He always get mad, and he never want to come get the baby. He come see the baby for an hour or two and leave.
We are not going to solve this today, and that's why this court has resources for you, and I want you to take advantage of them. You all need to talk to some people. You need to figure out where you all are at in this process in terms of your relationship and how you're going to be able to co-parent together. I'm done with it. The court is adjourned.